Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Nikki Pips. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to be doing a market breakdown tonight. Uh, oops, I can pause this. There we go. Sorry about that. All right. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to be doing, like I said, we're going to be doing a breakdown of gold and US30. So, we're going to see how the market is moving right now. So sorry guys for the camera. I have two screens right here, and then I have the camera right here. So sorry about that. All right, guys. So let's get into the charts. So first, we're gonna do a let's check out the news first. So let me share my screen really quick. Everybody's had a great weekend so far. All right, so let me share this real quick. All right, hope you guys can see that. So all right, cool. All right, so let's take a look at this week. So let's go to the calendar. All right, so let's see, we're going into the 24th, so let's check out Monday. So Monday is usually a pretty slow day. We don't have too much going on, but I do see here. So just so you guys I do trade a New York session. So for whatever session you guys trade, make sure you check the news for that. A great resource is what we're using here is Forex Factory. So you can go to forexfactory.com to check out the news. It's a great resource. So we can see here at 6 p.m. tomorrow, we have it's not a red letter day, but we have FOMC for member Kashkari speaks. So at that time, the market's going to be closed, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's check out Tuesday. Let's see, pre-market open. We have S&P Composite HPI. Nothing too crazy. CB Consumer Confidence at 10 a.m. We have FOMC. Member Bowen speaks at 1:30. And let's see, let's go to Wednesday. Excuse me. I got crazy allergies. All right. So, and then Wednesday, 27th. Let's check it out for USD. 8:30 in the morning. We have four durable good orders. Don't think that's going to move the market too much. Uh, Thursday, we've got some red letter days here. So final GDP, unemployment claims. This tends to move to move the market, but this is pre-market, so just watch out for that. If you do trade that, 9 a.m. we do have FOMC again. Again, this is pre-market, so definitely if you are going to trade that, just watch the market and preferably you can. I prefer you not to trade it and wait to see what the market does afterwards, and you can capitalize on if there's a retracement or anything like that. You can definitely do that. And then let's see. And then at 4 p.m., Federal Chair Powell speaks again. So right before market close. So we may see some movement at the very end. We don't really see too much movement at that time because it's an hour before market close. So um, if you guys trade late in the day, definitely watch out for that. I particularly have a window for myself. I typically trade from I'd say 9:30 to like 11 at the latest. So and then Friday, what do we got? So we got some pre-market at 8:30. So GDP, core PCE price index, good trade balance, personal income, Chicago PMI. revised UOM consumer sentiment. So if you guys don't really know how to navigate this site or whatever, you can click over here to these folders, and it'll actually give you kind of a synopsis of what it is. So, like, what is Chicago PMI? So, it's a level of a diffusion index based on surveyed purchasing managers in the Chicago area, things like that. So, next release, frequency, release monthly. So, it kind of gives you some data here. So, and then you can click right back on it, and it'll disappear. So same thing for, like, say this is important. So member Williams speaks. So FOMC. So you can click on here. Description due to speak about the economic outlook and monetary policy at the Long Island Association Regional Economic Briefing in New York. Federal Reserve Bank of New York President John Williams, who's the speaker. So things like that. So why do we care? Federal Reserve FOMC members vote on where to set the nation's key interest rates, and their public engagements are often used to drop subtle clues regarding future monetary policy. So great resource, gives you good amount of news there. So that's really good. Um, I'll show you guys also when we go into Trading View how you guys can also monitor news as well. So all right, let's get into the charts here. So let me pull up Trading View. So I'm gonna do a breakdown on gold first. So this is from last week. Let me clear these drawings. Just so you guys can see this a little bit better, I will move this to light so we can see it a little bit better here. And then let me share my screen. All right, and then we'll look at gold. All right, so we're gonna do what's called a top-down analysis. So we definitely want to watch that. So this is kind of important when you're actually doing your analysis or your market breakdown. You always want to do a top-down analysis. So you start from the higher time frame and then go to a lower time frame. So I'll look at the weekly, the daily, and then the 4 hour. So this will kind of tell us what our key levels are. So support and resistance, supply and demand, things like that. So we kind of can see where the market's going, kind of see the trend as well. Is the market in an uptrend? Is it downtrend? Is it in a continuation? So, or not a continuation, sorry. Is it is it ranging? So is it kind of just going sideways? So I will definitely take a look at that. So let's take a look at that now. So let's go to the weekly really quick. So we're gonna identify the trend. So as we see right now, we can kind of see it right now. So if we zoom out here, you can kind of see, like, overall we're still considered bullish as an overall trend, but we've definitely had some pullback lately. So from let's see May to now, we've literally kind of been in a downtrend. So usually how I'll indicate that is that we can take a trend line mark right here. We can mark the this high all the way to this low. So now I'll make this dark here. Here we go. So this usually indicates that we're currently in a downtrend. So overall market structure, we're in an uptrend, but right now we're in a downtrend right now. So with that being said, more than likely we're going to target these levels here, and here. So I'd say the 1886 area and 1811. So those could be our key areas of interest. So now that we kind of know where our trend is, we're going to go down to the daily here. So we got to kind of see what the market looks like here. So on the daily, this is where I start marking up my key levels. So support and resistance. All right. So we're going to do that now. So of course, if you guys don't know, or if you see any of my videos, so of course your support level is always the ceiling. So it's always, sorry, it's always the floor. So it's always going to be the last, these previous lows right here. So you can either take a like a box here, like I usually do, or you can just use a line. So, but for this, I'm gonna do a little bit of both. I'm gonna mark it with a box, and then I'm gonna put uh, a line for our psychological levels. So psychological levels is more so where price typically goes, and it usually stays with even numbers. So like 0 or 50, things like that. So that's where it could potentially hit. So I'll show you guys. So we're going to take this rectangle right here, and we're just going to mark these lows. And you always want to look left. I'll change this to blue. Blue. Yeah, that's cool. So maybe that's cool. All right. So I'm going to mark this area right here. So you always want to look left because you want to see if it bounced. So you want to see if it previously hit this area. So in this particular instance, it didn't. It didn't really bounce anywhere. It literally shot out, came all the way back down. It did hit this area again, so that it did. So it did. It blowed past here. This became support, and then it came back down. It became resistance again, and then again this is resistance. So we came all the way down here, and then it came all the way back up, and then this became support again. So, with that being said, since we kind of see where the trend is, we can mark up. Um, we're going to mark up our resistance area as well. So, or a couple resistance areas. So, our previous resistance is going to be right here. It's where it last touched. So, we're going to take this, and then we can kind of see where was the last time that it hit. So, we can see it touched here, touched here, touched here. So, that's kind of where we're going to mark it. So, we'll take this low right here. We'll kind of drag it all the way across. So I'll put it right to this level here. So again, we want to look back and see where it touched. So again, it came up here. This area came all the way back down, touched this area, then pulled all the way back here, up all the way to this area, and it came all the way back up. So, but in that regard, it did come back and it came up to this area, touched this this support area, and then it did it again. We kind of ranged back and forth. So it dropped down here, came up here, came back down, came up, down, up, down. It broke through here, touched back into this area, so it retraced back into this area. So this is a key level right here. So again, and I'll mark another key level up here. So just in case this does happen to break this trend and decide to go up, then we'll see what our resistance levels are. So I'll mark one more right here. So this will be another one right here. That's gonna be another area because it touched here, it touched here again, it touched here. So multiple levels. So then of course this is gonna be our major high right here. So I'd say, what was that? 22067. That's gonna be our main high. So again, here, since we looked at the trend, it's in a downtrend, so we're going to want to mark up these areas as well. So if you see here, I try to keep my chart super clean. I don't have a lot of indicators or anything like that, other than I do have two moving averages right here, which are actually pretty valuable because you can use this as an added confluence in the market when, say, like if the market's in a downtrend right now, you're going to see that these lines are above the trend. if it's actually um, bullish, you're going to see it's below the trend. So it's just an added confluence for you guys. So again, I'm going to mark up this uh, previous support right here. So let's definitely mark this area. So 'cause that could be another key area right here. And then of course we can look at some areas here as well. So, but we kind of have to see it break this area first. So I don't want to keep it. I want to keep it somewhat clean. So this is kind of what we're looking at right now. So again, what I meant about our psychological levels, again, we can go to our supply demand areas or support and resistance, whatever you want to call it, and kind of look for those psychological levels. So, for instance, since this was typically around 803, so we could typically look for this range to go around. Let's say we'll put a line roughly around. Let's see. This is another key level here, so I'd say 1807. So remember, like we just want even numbers. So I'm gonna take a horizontal line here, and I'm gonna kind of mark up this area right here. So we'll say 1808. So we'll make this a black line. So and then you can also put this in as well. You can type this in and put 1808. So that's gonna be a psychological level right there. So we'll do another one. So this area right here, let's say, yeah, let's go with 1890. So 1890, 131. All right, and then so you can always move this up into this area just like this, just so that it kind of falls right in the middle of that. So again, we can do another one right here. So of course, I'm going to show you guys also, or tell you guys a little bit about candlestick patterns. Also, it's a little bit of what I'm learning. Also, is incorporating candlestick patterns because those are huge for when you're actually um, going to take a trade. So you definitely want to look at the candlestick patterns; those are hugely important. But let's mark up these last two areas right here. So if you guys have any questions in the chat, uh, go ahead and message me in the chat. So let's see, we got 1938. I'd say 1940. So 1948.78. All right. So again, see, I can move up into this area a little bit. This is where it last hit. So this area right here. So I know we'll do one more. This last resistance area right here. So this is roughly going to be about 1980. There we go. 1980, 989. So that in 1980, 898, 989. All right. We have our psychological levels right here. So this is where we think it's going to hit these areas. So the probability of that. So if we look at the market right now on the daily, we can see as of right now because the market just recently opened, so we're kind of consolidating right now. So this is kind of a consolidation right now. So we're in a consolidation. Yeah, so we're kind of in a consolidation right now. So, but again, we can also look here, that what is the market doing? So we're in a downtrend. So usually in a downtrend, what does it do? We usually make lower highs and lower lows. So, we can see here that, so this is back in August. So of course we came up. So let's go to like this past week. So right here. So we had kind of a bearish, yeah. So we kind of had a bearish week. So we opened, uh, we opened down here. We pulled up, came back down, and then we actually pulled down here, came all the way up to here to 1947, and then we pulled all the way back down to 1914. Then we came back up to 1920 or 1927, closed at 1920, and we just started here for today, um, and we're already starting to look bullish. So, or bearish, excuse me. So we're already tending to. We have to see how this closes. So this is a daily, obviously. So we'll go down to the 4 hour. So you can see kind of where we're at. Like we're kind of in a consolidation right now. So we can see here that Wednesday, we had a huge fight. We had some news. So of course it shot up to here. And then of course retraced all the way back down to the same level, the same support area. Then we continued down, came into this area, which if you actually line this up, it actually came up to the same previous support area. So it's crazy how this works. So we had our previous support area. So I'll take this trend line and I can move this here, just kind of marking this area right here. But if I pull this over, look where it goes to. So it goes to that same support area. So with that being said, more likely we're getting some pull up here, and I have a strong belief we're going to actually pull down into this area, target these lows, may have a pullback, and we're going to continue to hit these lows here, and then possibly so on and so forth. It may respect this support area, or it may break it. I'm not sure why I have a line right here. Get rid of that. So we may target these lows right here. So we got to kind of see how the week plays out. I have a firm belief that we're gonna hit below 1900, in my opinion. So, but since this is a 4 hour, this is kind of where we're going to attack is these lows, and then these lows right here. So this is 1890. So we may end up hitting this area here by the end of the week, or more likely where we're at right now, we'll pull back, or we'll actually come down here, reach, take out these lows, and then we'll come all the way back up, and we may even start come back here by the end of the week. So where I've seen this happen, we'll come all the way down, break through a support area, and then we'll come all the way back to the previous resistance. So we'll see how this plays out because the market's going to do what it's going to do, but we can do our best to kind of watch it play out. So again, you can look on the lower time frame here, the hour. So you can kind of see it's consolidated right now. So, but it's moving in that bearish direction. So, because if you see here, we're slowly making higher lows. Well, it's consolidating, but we're making higher highs and or higher lows and lower highs. So more than likely on the 1 hour here, we're going to target this low right here and this low. So I typically trade on the 5 minute here. So if you were to go on the 5 minutes, you can see like this is the area that we're going to be targeting right here. So I will put a line right here. This is the area we're going to target. This is where I see us going. So for the week. So we're going to take out these lows here, and then these lows, and then we'll see. We'll see if we get a push up. We'll see what the market does. So that's kind of my analysis on gold, guys. I hope you guys got some value out of that. All right. So yeah, so just really quick on here, or I'll actually talk to you guys about the candlestick patterns on US30. Well, let's go look at US30. All right. So this is crazy. I don't trade US30, or at least on the brokerage that I'm on, I can't trade US30. But you can see I marked this out last week, and it literally played out to what I thought it was going to play out to. So it didn't hit the take profit, obviously, but I mean, it definitely went in the direction that I thought it was going to go in. So that was pretty crazy. All right, I'm going to clear this out right here. So again, we're going to start on the weekly. Clear that out. All right. All right, so we can see. I mean, we got the US30 is really choppy. To be honest with you, I mean, we have again, we have we're ranging again right here. So we're ranging again right here. See if I pull this out a little bit. We're definitely ranging. We did slowly break out of that, but then we went right back into it. So for whatever reason, it just doesn't want to break this resistance area right here. So let's for number one, let's find our trend. That's what we want to do on the weekly here. So what's our trend? So a lot of times you have to really scale out. So this goes all the way back to 2020. So right now we can see we're somewhat in an uptrend. So from what I see here, so you can either take a trend line and mark it from here all the way to here. And when you mark trend lines, you usually want to have um, a to B, C plus setup. So or 3 point setup rather. So you want to like say if you grab here, like you want it to touch three areas at least. So you could go like this, which this doesn't really validate it because a lot of time trends are 45-degree angle. So not like this. It should be more like this. So, but you can go because this is all the way back in October. So I mean, we can go on a more closer time frame, or period of time rather. So we could still do it like this. So even if it doesn't touch, like ideally, like you do want it to touch the areas, but you want to do it to the wick. So if I were to do this like that, let's get it right there. You go. So we can see here that it's already starting a green candle. So when we look at this, even though this is in an uptrend right now, it could break through this. So we could see some sells this week. So depending on how the market moves. So, but as we've seen in the past week, let's see what the week did. So, last week we had a huge bearish candle. So we definitely were bearish that whole week. So from what I gather here, again, we're making uh, higher lows and lower highs. So like I'll pull out this tool here. I like to use. So you can see we kind of pulled up here, pulled all the way up to here, pulled back into here, pulled up, pulled back down into this area, pulled up, pulled back down, pulled up, pulled back down. So if we were to move this away, so or stretch this out, we can kind of grab this and move it over here. So even if you didn't look at this, even though you have these 2 points right here, so even like with me looking at this, it's still indecisive. Like I would need to see how this candle is going to close here. So is it going to break these lows right here, or is it going to continue up and target this area right here, or target this high? So that's what we need to see. So, but again, based off of this, it's still in an uptrend. So based on market structure and trend, so we just need to see how it's going to move. Just in my opinion, it's a little indecisive right now. So again, like looking at a higher, looking at the higher time frame this weekly, it's really choppy. So, but we have to see if it breaks this trend line because if it does, then I think we're going to look for sells, and it's a total break of structure. So again, since we have this trend line, we'll go down to the daily, and we'll see how we're moving, so how we're looking. So on here, it looks slightly a little bit better. It's these are a little bit closer to here. So, but again, we need to see if it's going to break this trend line and target these lows here or target these lows here. So, because we can see where did it hit last? So, of course, we had some movement. There are things here. Sorry. Uh, oh shoot, what up, Easy? All right, guys. So, yeah. So so we're on the daily now. So let's mark up some key areas. So this will kind of make it make sense a little bit more for you guys. So, with that being said, so let's find our support area. Let's mark that up. All right, so we're gonna mark out this area right here, so you can see the last point that it touched. So that's gonna be my resistance area or my support area right here. So again, if this candle right here breaks this support, then again we have to see if it's gonna break it and then retrace, or if it's gonna continue down and take out these lows. So again, we'll look for another lower support area. So and that will typically be, I would say, this area right here for one. There we go. I'm gonna move that up a little bit, and then of course we have this area right here, another support area. So again, you can see if you move left or look left like we did with gold, you can see these previous areas that it touched. So let's see how many touches we had. We had at least one, two, three. It surpassed a little bit, but because I can move this into this area where it actually wigged. So it still stayed in that area. And then of course it came up, tapped into this area. So of course we were bullish here. tapped into this area, and then boom, they came right back down. So it retraced back down. So that's one area right here. And then of course, let's get our most recent resistance area, so we can see it actually tapped up into this area. So that will be our resistance area right here, and then of course we have our overall resistance area. So it's tapped into this area. So you can see it actually. If you look left, it actually tapped into this area here. So those are going to be our key areas right here. So again, we can also mark up the psychological levels. So of course on here, you could see what areas make this smaller. All right. So again, we want to look for um, even numbers. So I'll get my horizontal line here. So we can look for this area. So 32630. It looks like a good psychological level for me. So because it taps into all these areas here, taps here. So that's a good psychological level for us. So again, we'll look over here. So we want to try to get it to the closest. So I'd say 335005. Like, look at that, perfect. 5005.05. So that's a good psychological level. And then we'll look onto this one. See another key area be let's see. Let's say more so into here. 34033. Yeah, actually we'll do that. So yeah, so three I think that's on 34077. Yeah. So 34007.19. So and you can lock these in too. You can click on this and then lock it so that it won't move. So and then we'll do these two right here. All right, so this area, let's do 234 23500. Great. Oh, yeah, we'll do that. 35005.14. We want to keep these somewhat zeros at five, even numbers. Four. All right, and the last one. This area right here. 35650.64. Right. So there's our psychological levels there. So I didn't put that in there for this. All right, and then this last one here. All right, here we go. So we got our psychological levels here. So as we can see here already, so based on this candlestick, we of course we gotta wait a little bit longer, but I believe it's gonna try to push up into this area here. So or actually this area and then continue down. So but again, it has to break through this area right here. So another cool thing within TradingView also is you can actually set alerts. So what I typically do is I'll put a trend line here and I'll set an alert on this. So if it breaks, then I'll usually put um, support trend line break. And then I'll put like look for sells. And then once it hits, so it'll create an alert here. Yeah, so you'll see the little bell here. So if this breaks, I'll get an alert, so then I can actually monitor and see if it does wait for it to get a pullback, see if it ends up during a fake out and goes back to the upside, or if it actually does pull back a little bit and then continues downward and hits these areas right here. So that's what we want to look for. So yeah, so let's go down on the 4 hour here, so we can see the 4 hour. So we can kind of see this area right here. So of course we have a range. So because we have two areas that it's what is it respected resistance, and we pretty much have two areas where it's respected support. So with that being said, we have to see what it's going to do. So we need to pretty much watch this. So with this candle right here, this is called a doji. So usually when you see a doji like this, you typically want to find you typically want this usually will indicate either a continuation or a reversal. So of course you want to always look at the candle to the left and of course the current candle and see what it's going to do. So mind you, this can actually come up here and then end up pulling back and go back down. So you have to kind of watch this. But usually, since we did have a kind of a long run down and we're getting a doji candle here, a lot of times this could be a trend reversal. So we could end up looking to the upside. So, like I said, if you look at the higher time frame, if you look at the daily, overall, we are still in an uptrend. So it could very well respect this level, again, this support level, and we could end up going back up to this previous resistance level here, since we've gone here before. So that's one area that we need to watch for. So again, we can go on the hour here, and you can see it a little bit better. So there we go. So see it hit here, it hit here, and we're still in this area. So we didn't break this range. So, because this range was, if we go to the wick, it was at 33941.55. So, but if you see, we had a consolidation here, and then now we broke out of that consolidation as of recent. So, but we have to break this high right here from the lower time frame. So, like, say if we go on the 15-minute, So we need to break these highs right here in order for us to see any of these highs being broken, these highs, or targeted rather. So that's pretty much where we're for that, guys. Hopefully, you guys got some value out of this market breakdown. Appreciate you guys as always. Let me turn this off real quick. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Hopefully, you guys got some value from that market breakdown. If you guys can do me a favor, like and subscribe. I'm definitely trying to grow this channel. Also, leave a comment as well if there's anything I could be doing better. So, I am a new trader and stuff like that. So, of course, I'm no expert. I'm just giving my opinion on what I think the market's going to do this week on gold and US30. I appreciate you guys again. If you guys want to follow my journey, definitely hit that notification and subscribe. And appreciate you guys again. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.